I was so inebriated. Clenbuterol, Togi's, Cialis. 130 Testosterone is at 5,300. Now I'm upping it to 1,700 milligrams. I should be breaching close to 10,000 nanograms per deciliter.
Yay! Go Togi. I can't wait for you to die. Coach Greg, in today's video, Togi is folks cooked. Not exaggerating, not kidding, and he's got his blood work to prove it. Considering he's only 21 years of age, it's not looking good for Togi. I wish I had a bro like you. Togi is the realest dude ever. No filler, no act, just Togi being real AF. And so this is how moronic YouTube actually is. You're all rooting for this guy, cheering for him, wishing he was your brother. Why? So that you could bury him? So that he could experience an early funeral? Oh, wow, what a great life to live. The realest dude ever. Yeah, because he posts video about he's sniffing creatine, gambling all his money away, getting evicted. This guy is on a downward spiral, and you're all clapping and applauding. Go Togi! It's like watching a train wreck. You're watching and cheering for it, but should you really? If you actually gave a shit about this guy, of which I do, you would be encouraging him to stop. Disclaimer, this video is a skit for comedic purposes only. Y'all buying that? All topics discussed are satire. All items in this video are props. Why do you think he's doing this? Because this shit is illegal. You really think he's just gonna make videos and say he's doing this and doing that knowing it's illegal? He has to say this, and so he's trying to have plausible deniability. But you all know he isn't lying. Look at this guy.
As my sleep schedule's fixed, guess what time it is? You would never guess what time it is. It is currently 5:30 in the morning. A rise and grind type of guy.
Well, considering you just slept for 18 frickin' hours, yeah, you're rising and grinding because you just slept an entire day. 18 hours straight without getting up to go to the bathroom. Are we supposed to think this is a good thing? There's something wrong with you. He's most likely suffering from oliguria. This is a kidney problem. And so compared to Mike Israetel, this is far, far worse. Kid's 21. Mike Israetel's 40. At least Mike made it to 40. If he keeps going like this, he ain't gonna see 40. He won't even see 30.
Let me tell you, I was streaming last night for about 10, 12 hours, and I was so inebriated.
Last night, he was streaming for 10 hours inebriated. Look at the guy's face. And so you're gonna tell me that this guy is healthy. He's gonna show his blood work. The guy's getting drunk, sniffing creatine, up all hours of the day, sleeping 18 hours a day, and he's your role model? You wish he was your brother? He's so real?
I just slept for 18 hours straight, and it's like you would think I'd get up at one point to go piss or something. Nope.
And y'all wanted to be your brother. You guys cheered for this guy. He's getting hundreds of thousands of views. And so for me, this is what's wrong with the world. You live a healthy lifestyle. You do everything right. No one gives a shit. No one pays attention. But if you do everything wrong, you're a train wreck, gonna have an early death. People are rooting and applauding for you louder than last time.
I think I got an exciting package. You love when you get one of these packages. This is my favorite kind of package. The UPS box, about yay big. Because you know there's always drugs in it. 100% of the time there's in it.
I'm not being a hypocrite. I abused steroids for 10 years. At least I started in my 30s. I was old. My brain had fully developed. Togi's 21. And so, yeah, I recognize the package. I live that lifestyle. And that's why I can tell you from experience that if you ever get to live to my age, you're going to regret it. That's if you get to my age. And so he's got his clenbuterol and his Cialis on the front of the package. Do you really think this is healthy? Clenbuterol oftentimes given to horses or perhaps people with severe asthma. Do you think this guy has severe asthma? It is not healthy. It's bad for your heart. And considering all the other things he's doing, this absolutely should not be used.
Togi's, clenbuterol, Togi's, Cialis. How nice of them. That's the nicest thing ever. And I don't work with him or anything. He's just some random company that wanted to send me a care pack.
And so how many of you think that that's a prop? That it's not really that? It's all satire. He just magically has packages coming in from across the country with his name on it saying Cialis and clenbuterol. You really think it's just props? That he doesn't actually take these things? Who are the girls or the boys, for that matter, that Togi's hooking up with? Why does he need Cialis? Oh, I'll get better pumps in the gym. Are you not going to get a better pump from the frickin' Superdrol, the Anadrol, and all the steroids you're taking? You really need Cialis on top of all these things? If you can't get the pump that you need, it's called pre-pump. It's so that you take this, you go to the gym. This is not banned. You're not going to fail any drug tests, and it actually works. If you're looking for a healthy pre-pump, something to get you more pumped than last time in the gym, consider HDLT supplements. Code Greg, 15% off.
Exciting news. Togi merch is in. We got some amazing products. What the
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Togi merch is in. And so y'all are buying his products, his shirts, his Togi on it. It comes with a syringe. There's literally a syringe in the packaging. If that is not somebody promoting steroids, then I don't know what is. He's literally sending you a syringe.
Oh, I do remember a stream clip in which I was act out and put a needle in this.
I would show the clip, but I deleted the stream so my mother wouldn't see it. Well then.
Sending dirty needles to people. On stream, I was like, oh, if you get the package with a used dirty needle, you win like a trip to Vegas with me or something. That can't be legal.
I mean, even if this is satire, if this is a joke, it's still promoting steroids. Making it funny. If you get one of my used dirty needles, you get a trip to Vegas. We're going to go and play Plinko all night. I mean, and you want this guy to be your brother.
Not even a clean needle. Just a straight up used Togi needle.
Clothes will be available in the next 14 days. So if you want to support his drug use habits, if you want to promote his early death, if you're rooting for him to die, go and support him. Buy all his clothing, because when you buy his shirt and with his name on it and you wear that around, what you're doing is you support this. You are saying, go Togi. I can't wait for you to die. And by wearing that shirt, you're promoting him and you're promoting his way of doing things, which is further going to contribute to the problem. You're promoting and condoning the use of steroids. You're encouraging it, and you're 21. This is not good.
I probably slept for 4 hours in 3 days.
He slept for 4 hours in 3 days. If you want to age your body faster than last time, skip on sleep. Why do you think he only slept 4 hours in 3 days? Do you think that he was just working and grinding harder than last time, recording YouTube videos, just working so hard, studying Spanish? Or do you think he might have been sniffing creatine or taking something that prevented him from sleeping? For 3 days, sleeping 4 hours, your brain, it can't even think, can't comprehend.
It took a toll on me, and it didn't end at the YouTube video. I continued, for some reason, to go on an aggressive bender.
He's literally saying he's going on an aggressive bender, and you're all are cheering for him harder than last time. You're loving it. What is wrong with y'all? Why can't you go and watch somebody who's living a healthy lifestyle? Somebody that's a positive role model for you in your life.
You know? All right, guys. We're only gambling $300.
Hit depot limit minus $9,000. And so thankfully, there's a way to save him from himself. There's a limit on how much money you can lose. You lose $9,000 and it's cutting you out. Guy has a gambling problem. He's a gambling addict. He's a drug addict. He's addicted to everything. He has zero impulse control. He has impulse control disorder, but yet we're cheering him on. He should be getting some help. And you're all thinking right now, if you cared about Togi, you would write him in private. You would say, Togi, it's Coach Greg. Stop gambling, stop doing drugs, and stop living an unhealthy lifestyle. Does anyone think he'd give two flying cooks about what I'd tell him in a DM? No one's going to stop anything from me writing a DM. But if I make it public, if I send this video, and perhaps it gets 1 million views, perhaps 1 million people are going to think twice about going down the same path.
What do they mean? Boo! Boo!
And so he's excited playing Plinko ball, licking this girl's hair, excited. Perhaps those moments when he wins, it's what he's searching for. But in the end, if you're gambling, you're eventually going to lose your money. That is how these systems work.
What'd you get with a midget? For sure, dude. If anything, that's on the bucket list. I'd cheat on my wife if I get the opportunity to midget.
And so we get it. He would cheat on his wife to sleep with a midget. He would suck a dick for $1 million. Hawk Tui all over it. But hey, we got to cheer for this guy. Since I can't watch all this nightmare of a train wreck, I'm fast forwarding it to when he talks about his blood work, which is what this video is all about. To warn people about how dangerous it is to do what he's doing.
I haven't felt this good in days. We're gonna take him a little more testosterone, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Since my testosterone is so that fucking nose, it's making it so goddamn hard to breathe.
And so he's in his car. It's the best he's felt in days. He's saying that the creatine that was in his nose from sniffing too much, that it's not making him feel the best. And of course, he edited out, bleeped out a few of these things because, as you know, it's not legal to do so. You don't want to admit to that while doing a video.
So anyways, as I was saying, since my estrogen was f***ed, we've been trying to get it back up by adding test P. So I've added new cycle alert.
And so his estrogen was cookbook, but he's now adding test prop into the cycle to increase his estrogen. Togi, instead of adding in more tests, you could have added in DHEA. That would improve your estrogen levels faster than last time. But now let's get into his cycle.
It's going to go ahead and be 900 millivanills test E, 600 millivanills equipoise, because equipoise tanks my estrogen way too much, so we can't do that anymore. I dropped the ment because the ment was making me go bald, and I like my hair. And in order to compensate for the estrogen being at 0, I'm adding test P, and not a small amount. Talking 700 milligrams a week.
So I heard him say he's going to do 900 test and enthate. He's going to do 600 equipoise. He's cut out the ment. It's caused him to lose his hair, as if he knows which of the compounds has caused him to lose hairs and which one isn't. And he's adding in 700 milligrams of test prop because he's had his estrogen was at 0. Your estrogen does not go down to 0 when you're taking that much test. He was probably taking an anti-estrogen, perhaps Femra, Letrozole, for example, and that is what's causing this. It is not normal for you to have crushed estrogen levels when you're taking shit tons of hella gear.
So what am I at? 1.6 grams of testosterone total. You got a problem with it?
Yes. I have a problem with it. And my problem with it is that you don't realize you have a problem with it. You're addicted to steroids. You're addicted to gambling. You're addicted to recreational drugs. You need to stop. It's not going to end well.
You got a problem with it? F*** you, nerd. My body, my choice. Gonna take 1.5 grams of testosterone.
What am I supposed to do? But you all wish he was your brother. You're all cheering for this. Fuck you, Coach Greg. You care about people living longer than the last time. You tell people not to abuse drugs, to do 150 minutes of cardio a week, and to eat healthy. Wow, what a horrible message. We hate Coach Greg. He's a bully. Bullying Togi. And so he's drinking 2 full containers of caffeine-infused pre-workout as if the sniffing creatine wasn't enough.
And then I got this as a backup. Monster Energy. Monster Energy. It's a big boy.
And so let's see if he's healthy. Is he even sober as he's saying this? I don't think so. Imagine having this blood work and thinking you're not going to die.
No, first thing to note, RBC is amazing. I'm very excited that I managed to drop this down. My RBC last cycle, or last blood work panel, was 7.8.
Yay! You went from being horribly awful red blood cells to just awful. Congratulations! Instead of being horrendous, you're just still bad. It's still high. Oh, I'm going to applaud myself because I managed to go from 7.8 to 6 point something. Both are bad. That'd be like a girl saying, my boyfriend is so much better. Instead of beating me every day of the week, he only beats me every other day. I'm so much happier. It's not enough.
That means I was bursting at the seams with blood. I was borderline about to have a fucking heart attack.
His words, not mine. Borderline about to have a heart attack. And so now I put it off a little bit. I gained myself a couple years.
My RBC is actually lower than it was, but then before I hopped on cycle, which is amazing news. That's very healthy. That's good.
And so what we most likely are seeing is this guy has a bone marrow problem. Even before he hopped on cycle, his red blood cell count was very high. This is not good. This is not somebody that has the genetics to use performance-enhancing drugs. Some people are genetically blessed. They take steroids and it doesn't do all that much damage. Other people are predisposed to this damage and they take even a little bit and the side effects are horrible. Togi is in this category. He's not somebody that can handle the use of performance-enhancing drugs. His hemoglobin, despite the fact he's on steroids, despite the fact he has high red blood cell cell count that's also very low. How is it possible that his red blood cell count is high while his hemoglobin is low? What this could mean is that he has a bone marrow disorder. For example, this could be foreshadowing the fact that he potentially might even have leukemia. And being on growth hormone MK677, what that can do is speed the rate of this occurring. It makes it worse. If you take certain compounds, it can increase the proliferation of cancer cells. And by that, it means that you can grow and develop cancer faster than last time. And so Togi, by using steroids, growth hormone, and so on, you're increasing or expediting the speed of which you're going to die. And so what's happening here is because you're using steroids, it's screwing up your CBC. And by CBC, I mean all the blood count that we're looking at. It's screwing it up. It's distorting it. And so when the doctors look at this, they don't know how to diagnose you. If you were 100% natural, and they looked at your blood work, they'd say, wow, this isn't good. We think it's that. But because you're on steroids, it's masking all these potential problems. You don't know what you potentially have. And so what could in fact be happening is potentially you may have lead poisoning. Those research chemicals that you're using, they could potentially have this in it, and it's causing these unwanted side effects. You're just not aware of it. But you're using these things, promoting it on social media, and it's going to cause a host of problems for many other people. If 1 million people watch your video and you're having a good time, you got all the ladies in the hot tub and so on, they're going to think, if I use those SARMs, those chemicals, those drugs, and I get a jack physique like Togi, maybe I can get lucky. The only problem is you're not going to get lucky with the ladies, you're getting lucky with the Grim Reaper. And so the problem is when you're taking steroids, it's going to mask some of the negative side effects, some of the problems that you're having, and you may end up with late stage cancer that wasn't diagnosed until it's in the later stages. If you're natural, they're going to notice it right away. Oh wow, this looks odd. You're in stage 1. We're going to do something about it. Your chances of living a lot stronger. But because you're masking it with drugs, you think, I'm healthy, I'm on all these drugs, telmisartan and so on. But what you're doing is you're masking the ability of the doctors to see what's really wrong with you. Togi and the rest of you, just because you're getting your blood work done, you're thinking, I'm doing it safe. I'm getting my blood work done. You're not. You're covering, you're masking the problems. If you're using steroids, especially for a long period of time, you don't know the damages that you may be doing.
Hemoglobin, that's related to my anemia. I'm anemic.
He has anemia. He knows this. He sees it in his hemoglobin. He's just taking some iron and saying, it's some iron in there. It's serious. You don't know the real problem. This, in fact, could be a bone marrow problem, and you're treating it like, oh, I'll just take an iron supplement. That's not the solution. In case you want to look up the real term, Togi, you can look up refractory anemia. Do your research harder than last time. Maybe next time you're in a bender up for 2 days straight, perhaps look up that.
MCV, MCH, MCHC, RDW. These are all decently out of range, and I honestly have just no idea what any of this bullshit is.
Togi, this is what it means. Your MCV, this is the size of your red blood cells. Yours is low. It means it's very small. Smaller than last time, like perhaps your balls from taking steroids. And next, the RDW is very high. So many of your red blood cells are deformed. They're not looking the way they should be. This is bad. Overall, if I got this blood work, I would be shitting my pants. I wouldn't be saying, oh, this is good, my red blood cell count is getting better, and I'd be shitting my pants. I'd be having a heart attack. What's going on with me? First thing I'd be doing is getting off everything. Well, maybe I'd do HRT. But I certainly wouldn't be ready to blast off on my next cycle.
Everything else in reference. Beautiful.
Everything else in reference. Beautiful. Half of it was out of reference. Half of it was serious. Oh, let's just glaze over that. No big deal. My blood work, it's fine. If your blood pressure were, say, 200 over 120, and you brought it down to 180 over 100, we'd be like, oh, yay, great, I'm blasting more gear. Or would you say it's still horrible?
Next page, we have the most notable on this page is going to be cholesterol. My cholesterol, most importantly on your cholesterol, is the LDL-HDL ratio, and mine isn't too bad. 4.4 isn't too far out of the range at 3.6. 4.4 is not good, and the reason is because my HDL is crushed, So realistically, I'm gonna have to up that 30 fish oils a day to maybe 60 fish oils a day.
Next up is cholesterol. He's saying it's great. It's fine, nothing to worry about. Yet he literally says he has crushed HDL. That's the good cholesterol. He has crushed HDL. And so what that means is he doesn't have enough HDL, doesn't have enough of the good cholesterol. But yet he's on a supplement with a statin in it. It's called red yeast rice. And so what that's doing is it's lowering all of his cholesterol, the good cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, all the cholesterol, LDL, HDL, and so on. And why do you think he's taking that? Because he's on steroids, and so he's trying to mitigate the damages. But cholesterol is not the only factor in the equation. You can still develop plaques from living a shitty-ass lifestyle, of which he's doing in spades. And so just because he's taking a statin, it's not going to prevent all the problems. It still is not good.
Or I could eat healthy food like avocado and eggs, but that's for nerds.
And so, no, I'm not going to eat healthy. Why would I do that? That's for the nerds. I'm just going to continue to eat shit foods, live a shitty lifestyle, and cook up my body because I don't care about my body. Your body is a temple. It's the only thing that you have to live with for the rest of your life. Well, maybe there's other things. But your body, as far as I know, you can't transform out of it. Take care of it. By abusing steroids, recreational drugs, eating shit foods, all you're doing is taking off years from your life. And at 21, perhaps you don't care. Right now, you can't see into the future. But let me tell you, if you in fact get to be 48, you're not going to want to die. You're going to want to live longer than last time. It's going to be very sad if in years from now he realizes, oh my goodness, I only have 3 months to live. I should have listened to Coach Greg.
No, I'm just going to take more fish oils, and a lot more fish oils, because 16 HDL is very low. This, on all of my blood work, my HDL being at 16 is the most concerning thing. I'm going to be upping it to 60 fish oils a day.
And so his HDL is 16. He says it's the most concerning thing he has in his blood work. No, it's not. It's only because he's uneducated, uninformed, and perhaps if he spent less hours playing plinko ball and more hours researching the body, he would realize there's far worse things in this blood work. That is a small part of the problem. The tip of the iceberg. Togi, it's time to stop taking tokes and do more research than last time.
Next one is the fun stuff. This is what everyone likes to look at.
This is ridiculous. The other things are very important. You can't just glance over liver function, kidney function, all these things just to look at your testosterone. And why do you glance over your analysis? Without showing us that, how do we know you don't have chlamydia? And so what we noticed in his urinalysis is they had white blood cells without detectable bacteria. And so, newsflash for all of you, the most common cause of this, chlamydia. And so does Togi have chlamydia? Well, perhaps he better get tested. All those lady friends in the hot tub, get checked faster than last time.
Testosterone is at 5,300.
And so his testosterone is at 5,300. The highest I've had in 5 years is just over 800. Togi's at 5,000. I'm on 140 milligrams of test a week, yet Togi's over 5 times higher than mine. And he's not just on tests, he's on so many other things. And so does he really need to take that much gear to develop a physique at 21? And considering his kidney function is very bad, it's similar to stage 2 kidney disease, his testosterone dose, if anything, should be much lower.
You would think I'd get up at one point to go piss or something.
The worse your kidney function, the lower your doses need to be. If his kidney function was amazing, if it was perfect, perhaps he could get away with this. By getting away with it, I mean not endangering his life immediately. But because his kidney function is not good, taking doses like this, it's not going to end well for Togi. And so consider this, if your kidneys aren't working properly, taking 1 gram of testosterone would be like taking 2 grams of testosterone. Your body's ability to process these drugs, it becomes worse off than last time.
Testosterone is at 5,300, and that's when my testosterone, I was running 900 milligrams. Now I'm upping it to 1,700 milligrams.
What do you think is going to happen? Is he trying to be like Chase Irons? Let's get to 10,000 nanograms per deciliter.
I should be breaching close to 10,000 nanograms per deciliter, but for now we're at 5,000. I have the testosterone of theoretically 10 men, which is pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, he's a testosterone of 10 men, and he's going to die 10 times faster than the average guy. Yay! Is that really what you want?
As far as my free testosterone, I have the testosterone of 20 men.
And so his free testosterone, it's even higher, 284 with the cutoff being at 21. And he says it's the testosterone of 20 men.
Apopropolin A1 ratio is low by a lot. That is f***ed. I'm at 50 and the reference is 100 to 178. To be honest, I have no idea what that is. So, again, we're going to have to shoot Tanner about that.
Apolipoprotein A, it's just an advanced measure of HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol. And so it's extremely low. You are correct. You are now more educated than last time. And so maybe you want to lower that testos. The more testosterone you take, the lower your HDL. And so if you want to be healthier, you need to lower the dose, not raise it.
Ooh, more out of reference shit. God damn, when is it gonna get normal, bro?
And so think of it, more out of reference shit. God damn it, when is it gonna get normal? I'll tell you when you go off cycle. But no, I don't want to listen to my blood work. What's the point of getting blood work if you get a shit result and all it does is say, I'm upping the dose? People get blood work done. They preach, hey, get your blood work done. Make sure your blood work's in check. When you get your blood work in check, you got to just say, oh, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. I'll skip over this. It's fine. Okay. You get your blood work done. And if it looks like this, you go off. Not raise the dose. You go off.
How do I have low blood sugar? My blood sugar is low even though I take 20 milligrams of MK677 a day?
You don't have blood sugar. If you can't even read your blood work, what's the point of getting it? And so his hemoglobin A1C, it's 4.7. It's very low. That's a measure of his blood sugar from the last 3 months. Typically, this low, it would be for somebody that's perhaps sick. You know, they're not eating enough. They're not eating enough carbs. But Togi, he has cooked up red blood cells. They're all squiggly, they're messed up, and so they're dying off before they can absorb the blood sugar. Do you get it now? And so the A1C is looking at the amount of sugar crystals on the red blood cell, and for you, it's bad. And why? Because your red blood cells are all screwed up. And so what this means is that your red blood cells are dying. They're not getting the time required to accumulate this blood sugar because they're dying off. What do you think of that, Togi? Now that you hear all this, you still up in your dose to 1700? Do you still not give two shits? And so all the comments are going to be, Coach Greg is an asshole because he's telling another grown man how to live his life. Maybe you should do the same. What are you doing to help the problem? You're just subscribing to his channel, cheering for him, watching the train wreck unfold, not giving a shit because you don't give a flying about him. You just want to watch this unfold. Remember, this is not a movie. These are not paid actors who are pretending to have these problems. These are people in the real world suffering from damage, from being addicted to drugs. These are the things that are going to unfold.
My estrogen's at 14 when I was taking Ment.
And so Togi just arbitrarily decides to skip over the most important measure of kidney function. And so what he's doing is he's downplaying how bad this really is. His cystatin C is 1.22. That is high. The limit is 1. This is combined with the GFR of 70. And so for a man of 21 years of age to have results this bad, this is not good. And so why is he glancing over this? And so why doesn't Togi say, my kidneys are full cooked? I shouldn't be doing this. I'm warning you, perhaps I'm doing this because I don't give a shit about my life. I'm battling demons. I don't care. But anyone that does what I do, you need to think twice. And considering he's on telmisartan, his kidney function be even worse without it. This is with telmisartan. Without it, perhaps it'd be stage 3. He's 21.
Homocystine. That's a nerdy name. Mine's about double the reference. Homocrystalline. That's such a shitty, nerdy name, I'm not even going to worry about it.
And so next up is homocysteine. It's at 27.6. It's very high. It's almost double the max reference range. This is going to tell you if you have a good chance of getting a stroke. And so considering he has a much higher chance of getting a stroke, let's combine that with high blood pressure perhaps, combined with taking steroids, with all the blood markers that he has, the fact that he's sniffing creatine, that he's going on benders, that he's not getting enough sleep, that he's having a shitty diet, he's probably not doing enough cardio. What do you think the end result's going to be? Do you really think it's going to end well to Togi? Is he going to really end up making millions of dollars on Plinko? Even if he gets 1 million followers, even if he gets $1 million, he's just going to gamble it all away. This needs to stop now.
It's like some of these things they got to make it up. That is not a thing in the body that you have to worry about.
And so because it's a nerdy name, he doesn't think we need to worry about it. He doesn't need to worry about getting a stroke. Strokes don't always kill you. It just paralyzes that part of the body. And so perhaps it happens in his brain. He just perhaps becomes paraplegic. Or maybe he just gets droopy face to one side of his body. Or maybe it paralyzes his legs. Or perhaps early dementia. Is that what he wants? At 25 years of age, can't remember his own name? Imagine the host of problems that he glances over because it has a nerdy name. Togi, what you need to take is some B12 and some folate. It's most certainly going to help you. But do you know what would help you more? Lowering the doses or taking none of it whatsoever. And if you actually could cycle off, get down to baseline, your mind might think more clearly. When you're all hopped up on steroids, ment, testosterone, EQ, whatever, you're not thinking clearly. You're thinking with a mind that's being altered from taking steroids. Look at Mike Isertel. He's a smart guy, he knows what he's doing, but yet he can't stop.
I have severe anxiety disorder.
While you're in the midst of taking that cycle, you don't think clearly.
They're just making that shit up to scare you. But I genuinely have no idea what it means, so we're just going to move on.
And so he generally doesn't know what it means, but he thinks that it's making up stuff to scare you. Do I look like I'm making something up to scare you, or am I giving you my honest opinion, my honest assessment of what's going on? And so if you believe me, if you don't think I'm just fear-mongering, that I'm inventing problems, then why not take my advice? Togi is on a beta blocker. That slows your heart rate down. He takes his blood pressure and it's 130/72. 130 for systolic. It's a little high. And that's with blood pressure medication. And so even with blood pressure medication, it's still high. But get this, his resting heart rate at rest is 93. 93. When I'm going for a walk, doing zone 1 cardio, I'm not even at 93. I'm walking and my heart rate is slower than his. And this is with a beta blocker. Unfreaking real. How can a man take a beta blocker, have this kind of blood pressure and resting heart rate, and still do what he's doing? It baffles the human mind. I don't understand it. And this, it's even scarier, as if we need to be scared more than this. Consider this. There's another measure. It's known as pulse pressure. You take the systolic minus the diastolic. And so 130 minus 70, it's 60. Anything above 40, it's not good. For every 10 points above 40, there's a 20% increase in cardiovascular death. And so because he's 20 points above, he has a 40% increase. And so let's add it all up. He's got a 40% increase in cardiovascular problems because of his pulse pressure. He's got an increased chance of getting a stroke. We've just seen that. And he's also sniffing creatine. He's on blood pressure medication, telmisartan. The guy has horrible kidney function, stage 2 equivalent. His red blood cells are all screwed up. Many of them are small. They're dying off. He has high fasting blood sugar at 96, yet low blood sugar from the previous 3 months, which is technically a false negative because the red blood cells are in wrong kind of shapes. They're all screwed up. He's not getting enough sleep, and when he does, sometimes he sleeps 18 hours without even getting up to pee. This is known as oliguria. And let's not forget, he might have chlamydia. And that's just what we see from basic blood work. Imagine if we knew everything he was doing. Imagine if we scanned his entire body, if we looked at everything that's going on. Do you really think this is going to end well for Togi? Now, having watched this video, do you now believe that Togi's life is in danger? Or do you think that Coach Greg is just an asshole? He's bullying Togi. Or is this the wake-up call that he needs? Oh, and let's not forget, we just noticed he's got Tums in the corner. Why is he using Tums? Does he have improper digestion? Is he taking Tums because he's perhaps getting cardiac chest pains and he thinks it's going to help him? Is it potentially a digestive problem, or is it something wrong with his heart? Quick screenshot, new stack May 22nd. And so in May, 900 tests, 900 EQ, 150 ment, 6 IUs of growth, IGF 50 micrograms pre-workout, 0.5 cc amino tree pump injection. Why don't you just take actual pre-pump instead of injecting it? 20 milligrams of Superdrol. Superdrol is very strong, trust me. 20 milligrams of Anadrol, glutathione, telmisartan, baby aspirin, the list goes on. Does this look like somebody that you want to follow, that you want to copy, emulate? This the kind of guy that you want to get advice from? Does he sound educated on what he's doing? Does he sound like you can learn the good, the bad, and the ugly? If you're following Togi, do you think that you're more likely going to want to use steroids? After all, he downplays the bad and promotes the good. But after watching my video, is it now settling in how bad this really is? Or do you think, nah, it won't happen to me? Now, if you're trying to stay natural but still make the gains, I'd strongly suggest you try Turk Builder with turkesterone, also Ecti Builder with various Ecti steroids, and GO2 Max that has NMN. These are not banned by WADA. You can get these on my website. code Greg, 15% off. Remember, we have the labs, the proof that we are not selling snake oil. These are 100% legitimate. You can trust us harder than last time. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like this video if you liked it. It means a lot. Subscribe to the channel right now. Watch one of those two loops. And remember, the cookbooks, the training books, the Circle Diet book, coaching plans by me and my team, all on my website. You also get the free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages, as well as join the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.